Hello everybody, today I'm going to be taking you through a video on Joiin's layouts feature, a way to customize your financial reports, whether that be to group accounts or create KPIs, formulas or charts. So we're going to begin this process by going over to settings and choosing layouts. We can then choose to create a new layout from one of our templates. I'm going to choose a P&L in this instance. And I'm going to begin by creating a group of accounts. So first though, I'm going to choose to name my report. So I'm just going to call this one P&L. I've then got my existing groups from my template already, such as revenue, as we can see here, but I could then go and create a new group of accounts. So I'm going to call this online sales. I'm going to then show the total, collapse and show total, which will make it appear as a single line item. And then I'm going to choose to style it as account, which will mean that the account will appear more like this one here, line item in smaller font than the bold here. We're then going to choose to show it as credit as positive, and we're going to create that group, which now is going to float at the top of the report. I'm going to go over here very quickly and choose to filter out all of the different companies' accounts so that I'm only looking at this one particular company for the time being. Now that we've got a little bit less on screen, I can go on over here and I can choose to include these couple of accounts, and I'm going to bulk move them into online sales. The accounts are now nestled within this online sales group. I could then move this one and move it to revenue. So that one's going to sit in there quite nicely now. I'm going to save and run this report. So we're now on this customized P&L, and we've got our revenue group here with our online sales group, which we can click on and we can see any of the accounts that appear in there. We're now going to make some more customizations to this report and add a formula. So we're going to go on over to the drop down and we're going to choose this little edit icon, which is going to bring up a side panel for me to edit in. And I'm going to create a formula to look at my gross profit margin. So I'm going to choose new formula. And I'm going to call this one gross profit margin. I'm then going to do my result formatting. So I'm going to choose to show it as a percentage. I'm going to then take my budget favorability. So anything over budget is favorable. And I'm then going to create the formula. So I'm going to begin by taking my gross profit amount. And you can see here that it's going to choose one of me. And you can see here that it's going to show me my gross profit formula denoted by this little F for formula. And I can then divide that one by revenue, which is a G next to it, which denotes that it's a group of accounts rather than a formula. I can then accept those ones. I'm going to save. And then those edits will appear on the screen like we can see. So we've got my gross profit margin at the top of the screen. We're going to go back into the edit now, and we're going to make a couple more changes to this one. So we're going to go on to edit. Now what I want to do is I want to make some changes to the way this report looks. So I'm going to start by collapsing this revenue group so that it appears as a single line item. I'm going to do the same for a couple of these different other groups, just like so. I'm then going to scroll back up to the top and I'm going to rearrange the order of some of these ones. So I want this gross profit margin. I want it to appear below revenue. I also want it to below cost of sales and below gross profit. I've got another way of doing that. I could press the three dot menu and I could move the order that way as well, however I want to do that. I'm going to finish by adding a chart to these reports. So we're going to press this new chart option. Charts are also available within report packs as well, so it's definitely worth taking a look at them. They're a bit more visually appealing and flexible as well within report packs, so they're definitely worth checking out. And for this instance, I'm just going to show you my revenue on a chart, and I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to want to show a bar chart on this one, and I'm going to select my data series of revenue, and I'm just going to accept that one, and I'm going to save that report and it will run for me. So we've now got my different revenue amounts on my bar chart. And that's just a very quick look at custom layouts within Joiin. It's definitely worth having a play around with them. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support team by emailing support@join.co. Thank you.